Did Ian Doyle be released?
I am.
And you're the only agent who has not requested reinstatement to the unit.
Mm-hmm.
Was the decision to release Ian Doyle a personal one?
A young boy's life was at stake. I ran the probability of his survival, and it wasn't good. If you want to punish me for taking a risk, then I encourage you to do that. But do not put the rest of my team on trial for something that I suggested.
Calm down, Agent.
This is calm, and it's Doctor.
No, we are not letting him out of here, Reed.
Emily, I will chain myself to him if I have to.
He'll find a way to escape.
No, he won't, and we're running out of time. If we find McDermott now, we have a chance to save Declan.
The United States government is not in the business of trading captives.
New York City, July 2010, referred to as the spy swap. Igor...
That's enough.
You can't just change the rules, sir.
And you just can't break them.
Factor in our investigation, yes. And was behavior... So, you've stated that it was your profile of the killer that led you and the police to my client's door that night. Behavioral analysis was a factor in our investigation, yes. And was behavioral analysis also a factor in the Olympic Park bombings case in Atlanta? Yes, it was. And was that suspect you identified, Richard Jewell, ever convicted of the bombings?
Objection. Relevance.
Goes to the credibility of the witness and his field.
I'll allow it.
No, he was not convicted. Because he was innocent. Your profile led you to the wrong man. Jewell was not the perpetrator, but if you look at the real Olympic Park bomber, Eric Rudolph, you'll see that our profile was dead on. Well, how about if we look at the Baton Rouge killer? Your unit said that he was white and living in the city. He was black and from the suburbs. You said that Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, was divorced and impotent. He turned out to be married with 2 kids.
Objection, Your Honor. He's giving a sermon.
You have a question in there somewhere, Counselor?
Having been wrong on those cases, isn't it possible that you were wrong about Brian Matloff? No. Fact is, behavioral analysis is really just intellectual guesswork. You probably couldn't tell me the color of my socks with any greater accuracy than a carnival psychic.
Objection.
Withdrawn. Charcoal gray. Well, look at that. He got one right. You matched them to the color of your suit to appear taller. You also wear lifts and you've had the soles of your shoes replaced. One might think you're frugal, but in fact you're having financial difficulties. You wear a fake Rolex because you've pawned the real one to pay your debts. My guess is to a bookie. I took this case pro bono. I am one of the most successful criminal attorneys in the state. Your vice is horses. Your BlackBerry's been buzzing on the table every 20 minutes, which happens to be the average time between posts from Colonial Downs. You're getting race results. And every time you do, it affects your mood in court, and you're not having a very good day. That's because you pick horses the same way you practice law, by always taking the long shot. You spin a very good yarn, Agent, but as usual, you've proven nothing. If I'm not mistaken, the results from the 5th race should be coming through any minute. Why don't you tell us if your luck has changed?
I'm so glad you made it in time for the arraignment.
What did the kid decide about a plea?
I don't know. I'm not sure he does.
I can't stand the thought of him being in prison.
But 5 years is a lot less time than 25. Oh, he must be agonizing over this decision.
Whatever he decides, he has our full support.
He knows that. It means a lot to him.
We have to prove that Scratch did this. We'll get him.
They're calling his case.
Case number 149-CR0308, U.S. versus Reed.
Ms. Duncan, your client is an FBI agent, correct?
That's right, Your Honor.
You're charged with murder, which is a very serious matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Duncan. Does your client wish to enter a plea at this time?
He does.
And how do you plead, Agent Reed?
Not guilty.
Thank God. And as to bail?
The people oppose bail and request remand, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my client presents no risk of flight.
That's ridiculous. The defendant was arrested after fleeing the murder scene in Mexico.
Those were extenuating circumstances. He'd been drugged against his will.
By failing to notify the FBI of his international travel, the defendant violated the Bureau protocol.
My client presents no flight risk. He has deep ties in this community. His mother suffers from Alzheimer's disease and schizophrenia and lives with him. He is solely responsible for her well-being. Additionally, he's been a decorated SSA with the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit for over a decade.
And as an FBI agent, he has contacts all over the world.
Agent Reed would be willing to turn over both his personal and government-issued passport.
If he wanted a counterfeit passport, he could easily get one.
He has no criminal history.
The defendant is uniquely situated to evade law enforcement should he flee the jurisdiction.
Your Honor, he wants to stay here and clear his good name.
He should have thought about his good name before sneaking across the border.
I'm prepared to present multiple law enforcement character witnesses on his behalf right now. The witnesses are here in the courtroom, all highly respected FBI agents.
Simmer down, Miss Duncan. It's almost 6 o'clock, and I'm not inclined to hear from character witnesses. Actions speak louder than words, I always say.
We'd be willing to abide by a curfew and strict monitoring of his whereabouts at all times.
Too little, too late, Counselor. If past behavior is the best indicator of future conduct, and I do believe it is, then your client presents a flight risk. Bail is denied. Defendant will be remanded to federal custody pending trial.
You'd like to make a statement for the record.
Madam says.
Hello, my name is Penelope Garcia. I am a technical analyst at the FBI. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak in front of you today. I want the full impact of Jesse Wilson's crime to be brought to your attention. When I was 18, my mother and stepfather, Barbara and Emilio Garcia, were killed by Mr. Wilson's careless and selfish deeds. It was the worst day of my family's life. It was the worst day of my life. And we will never stop missing them. But mourning the lives that might have been won't bring them back. And neither will keeping Jesse Wilson behind bars.
Penelope, what are you doing?
Quiet, please, or you'll be removed.
Ever since that night, I've had this cloud of rage and pain and guilt, and I couldn't bear it. And I needed a place to focus it, and I focused that whole cloud on Jesse. I needed to demonize you. I'm so scared to see you as a real person, because if you're not the monster in prison, then who do I have to blame? My parents taught us that a big part of love is forgiveness. Jesse has told me he's sorry for what he's done, and I do believe him. I won't ever forget the past. But moving on is important too. It is, and that's why I am here before you today, asking that the board forgive Jesse as I have and grant him parole. Thank you.
We'll now recess for deliberation.
Carlos. Carlos. Carlos, wait. Carlos, you know this is what Mom and Dad would have wanted.
No.
Yes.
No!
Okay, look, that night. The reason why they were out that night, driving so late, is because of me. I missed my curfew, and I went out looking. They left me a note, but none of this would have happened if it wasn't for my bad choices. Carlos, talk to me.
Talk to you? I can't even look at you.
Emily, what did you tell them?
The only people I know who could accomplish that mission just walked out. They do their jobs with integrity. And most importantly, they honor their oath. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Just for more, please subscribe, like, ring that notification bell after you subscribe to all so you get notified when I post brand new content. I did not make this content in this video, but thank you all for watching. I did not make it again. I did not make it. This content is from Criminal Minds and the people that made the videos. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed. See you all in my next video, part 2.